again, everybody. This is Mr. Everything, and I am coming back at you with another one of my Star Citizen map spotlights. What we're going to do tonight is we're going to spotlight the Covalex shipping hub and the amount of detail and work that went into creating this FPS quest level. Just look at the landing pad here. We got these plates that are removed. Now it is a deactivated hub. This is not a currently active hub. It's like the power plant went critical. A lot of people got killed. It's basically an inactive power plant. You see the lights are not, like the sign is missing. There's no gravity here. You actually have to travel through in zero gravity, or EVAing through the entire complex. Now, throughout the majority of this video, because this is about a 30-minute video, it's mostly going to be, 99% of this is just going to be admiring the amount of hard work that was done creating this level. You fly out here from Port Olisar in the Crusader system to go on a mission for a widow who is not being paid insurance by the Gundo Covalex insurance firm. So you are actually hired as a private investigator to come out here and investigate the accident. And that's why you see the find evidence waypoint right there on the window. Okay, so we're outside, and you notice that the window protective bars are all blown outwards. A lot of them are bent and dented. Look at the detail. Look at the detail that's on the different bars, the way the paint, the way they're bent. And basically you can come inside and you can have a look around.
This station is currently off limits. Please vacate the area.
Nope, I'm not vacating the area. Okay, now it's hard to see a lot of things, but when you turn on your headlight, you know, it's a lamp that's on your helmet. When you turn it on, it is so bright that everything disappears. It's like it's counterproductive. I don't know if I have my personal resolution, my brightness turned up too high or something, because when I turn on my light, it's too bright. All right, well, let's just enjoy. Look at the panels on the floor here, all bent up and out. This is probably what happened. There's probably something exploded right about here. Blew out the window, vacuum sucked everybody out into space, and they died. That's my guess. We're not going to click. Oh, look at that. Covalex shipping up. Gundo. Gundo's the company. Covalex. I'm not sure what the Gundo and the Covalex. I'll have to do a little research on that. What's the difference? This is like a little command station. Don't know what it's really used for. If you see those green flashing lights on tablets, that's part of the quest chain. You got doors. Some are locked. Some are open. You got just various boxes floating in the area. The piping, the walls, the signs. I'm just super impressed with this map. I had to show it off. You can see the grading on the walls, how they're like, look at that. That's good. And you can see through the walls, through the grate, and you can see the little components on the inside. Now, this is something I suspect will happen when, eventually they do go live. A lot of these panels you'll be able to open and access and stuff like that. And I was noticing these stickers, the warning signs. You got caution, malfunction, reboot, and I don't know what else. I need a magnifying glass to see some of that. It's a little dark back here, like it should if the power is out. But I guess the only thing really running are the things that are running on battery power. So you do see some lights here and there. Like the red warning lights, you see those, because like in any industrial location, if your power goes out, there are probably battery backups to keep the servers running. And that's what's going on right there. And you also, have the red like emergency light. It's at the elevator shaft, so If you needed to get out or change levels, yeah, they're going to have an emergency light. I would expect there to be some white lights here, like up in the corners. That, you know how they come on, but what they're trying to do is enhance the level of spookiness. Because the very first time I ran this mission, doing the research, it was kind of spooky. I didn't really know what to expect, which I thought was really cool. But now I've run it like 100 times. So this is an alcohol packet. Yes, the alcohol packets come in little Capri Sun type packages, little Ziploc bags. That's pretty cool. Or beer or alcohol. Don't know what it is. Everything is free floating. Look at the pipes on the wall. That's a lot of work done on this elevator shaft. A lot. All these little pipes and grates and screens and components. Yeah, there's a lot of work done here. Some loose wiring floating in the area.
This station is currently off limits. Please vacate.
There's a floating push cart just right there in the elevator. That's pretty cool. And there's the emergency light. You bump it, it moves. It's cool. There's an open door here. We're not going to go out this open door because this is the 3rd floor. We need to go back to the 2nd floor and check that door out. It's cracked open. It kind of gives you that impression that, hey, there's, you know, you can peek through. You could shoot through just to kind of see what's on the 2nd level, but you can't get there from here. Okay, back to what I was saying. If this was a fully functional complex, you would be able to walk around in gravity, take the elevator up and down, converse with NPCs, and you would be able to like coordinate pickups and deliveries of shipping. Now, deck 3, if you looked on the floor, which I know you didn't really notice that, there was a fork. Okay, so that's telling me that this is the dining floor, deck 3, but it's also a living quarters. It's living quarters and dining. But just look at all the detail. And then there's a fire extinguisher right there by the elevator, which I thought was pretty cool. And I noticed that the fire extinguishers have a digital readout. I've noticed that on Port Olisar also. Okay, so I'm flying in various different angles and stuff like that. Air conditioning conduits, more control panels on the wall. Very good, very good, very good. And then here's the Easy Have living quarters. They're exactly the same. They're, I would say, repurposed just like the ones on Port Olisar. They're probably modular, where, you know, different companies will buy them to attach them to their space stations so that you could create habitation units. Now, they're also probably escape pods because it looks like it separates. A little booklet there. Yep, vents. And this is exactly what you would see in Port Olisar in your quarters. Come back out of the hall. We got a Big Benny's machine floating right there. I do think this is the Big Benny's in zero gravity that everybody tries to get to move into their ship, because you can bump it and it will move. And if you could get it to just go the right direction, you can like put it in your cargo hold. I thought I'd take this Rips one over here, but it's pretty much affixed or jammed in nice. It's wedged in tight. I can't move it. I tried a couple of times. I put my hands on it and stuff. The grabby hands and the push and pull is not out yet, but it kind of looked like I put my hands on it. That's pretty cool. There are bottles, Coke cans. They're not Coke. It's not Coke. I assume it's like soda. I don't know what it is. But right there, we got a bottle of Radagast. It's completely empty. Right? Yep, Radagast. You could find that in your hangar alcohol cabinet. And then there's some bags of liquids, and then there's a couple of cans and plates. And I bumped the can. I'm just trying to see what I can move and what I can't move. But look at the chairs. Look at the little. There's a lot of work done on those chairs, just to have an adventurer like yourself just traveling straight through this module, not even paying attention to that. That's a lot of wasted effort, right? So I do expect them to reuse all these components, like these chairs, tables, stuff like that, in other space stations, or make this space station accessible by or at various times. Okay, now this is my continuation. I thought I'd pull out a rifle because I was starting to feel a little threatened, because this is an open combat area and I heard ships outside. There's an Avenger. This is just another open easy hap module. It's pretty much the same as all the other ones. You can see the glass that leads out into the actual main cargo containment area. There's another rips. That rips over on the right might be able to be moved. Didn't think about it though. And here's another Big Benny's. Get close, you can hear the Big Benny's. Technically, you shouldn't hear anything in vacuum, but in this game, the rule of cool outweighs everything else. All right, we're on deck 3. We're going to continue on. I'm just hate to say this, but I'm just geeking out on all the different graphics. Now, I was a little bit disappointed with that deck 3 sign. I noticed those spots, and the paint went over the spots, and they didn't mesh with the dimples. But that's a minor little baby thing. I'm not worried about. I'm just so impressed with everything else that one little minor thing that didn't even impact me at all. But look at the piping and the lights, and I just have to say, see on the floor there, you got the fork and the knife or whatever. It kind of tells you it's the dining floor. Thought that was pretty cool. Because, see, fork and knife. There's a couple of different elevators that go up and down this. This will get us down. So they're basically one at both ends of the dining, on basically the right and left side of the complex. So let's go ahead and look at the rubber plate. That's usually like when you walk on it, you step on it, it causes the door to open, you know, like in grocery stores or whatever. You got a floating cart in this elevator also. There's a tablet all the way at the bottom. Look at the wiring and the walls. I'm sorry if I'm saying the same thing over and over. I'm just super excited about this map, and I just wanted you to enjoy it. I wanted you to see this map. It's really a spotlight of all the cool things. Okay, you hear the combat outside, right? Okay. I actually ran to take cover, but then I thought about it. That's spacecraft shooting outside. Yeah, somebody blows up my saber. Big deal. I just go get another one. Because this is still in the PTU actually, so, or the universe, and there's no penalty for losing your ship. There's also no penalty for being a dick and blowing somebody else's ship up. But that's the subject of a whole nother video. So right here, I'm kind of like taking up a position of floating in the air, thinking like if somebody comes up the elevator, I'm going to take them out. But then I thought about it. I was like, no, let's just go ahead and continue on with this video. If I get killed, I get killed. No big deal. Moving on. I just come on back because there's no downside other than time. Okay, so we're in like a command console control room. It looks like there's a bunch of servers right there. There's a door that leads out here, which doesn't open right now, so I can't open it and walk out there. So you got to consider going back the other way, where there is there's a couple of quad computer stations right in the middle. Right here, we're looking behind a Rips drink thing, energy drinks. I thought I'd shoot over it if somebody wanted to pop in on me. basically just being very, very defensive right now. I could have edited this out for you because you're watching this video, but I just thought it would be a good thing for you to see that there are places that you can actually take cover and stuff like that. If you're curious about my chat and why it's being blocked out, I had some choice words for a player earlier, and I forgot to close my chat, and I didn't want to have all those words being shown on the internet, being that I was kind of verbally abusive to this other person, and I'm sorry for that, but he deserved it. Okay. Hate to say it, but he did. He deserved it. Okay, so just look at the walls. Look at the grading, the lights, symbols. More of the same. You know, I'm sure there's a lot of assets that they reused. Like, look at that. It's just sweet. Lights out. You can't really see it because the white is just too bright. It needs to be a little bit dimmer just to light things up. There's the forced computer stations. The chairs are like swivel chairs that you normally would have in an office complex, and they're on wheels, so they move around. So if you're in zero gravity, those chairs are just going to float around, moving around, right? So same with the boxes in the cargo. I don't know what that is. Maybe a little refrigerator, maybe something. Who knows? Yeah, there's these boxes you can move around and chairs and all that, like you can interact with them. I considered filling the elevator full of boxes, so if somebody was trying to follow me, it wouldn't be they'd have a hard way to go because it would be full of all kinds of junk. Yeah. Yeah, I put about 20 things in there earlier. I edited a lot of this out because you don't need to see me fill that thing full of junk. But you can. As you can see, I'm like putting chairs in there. I've got that cart's still in there. It's been in there. Look at the floor. Nice. This is not really this is a window, but I don't know if it originally had any glass, but it doesn't now, so you can just float right through it. There is a walkway over there on the next to right over that sign that says Covalex over there. That's where that door would have, you know, if you came out that door on the right side of the control panel, it would have put you on that walkway over there, which is where I'm heading. And then you would walk right beside the dining room so that you would see, you could, you know, wave at your buddies inside the dining room. Look at the little scaffolding. It's tilted over, like some boxes fell over. There's a lot of floating boxes. That's a lot of crazy details, man. I'm totally digging that. And you know, those scaffoldings are the same ones that hopefully they're the same ones that they used in Area 18. Should be kind of universal, you know. There might be a couple of different versions of it, but there's no real need for that. Scaffolding. You know, and those are the kind of scaffoldings I would expect in my hangar. Maybe if I started collecting a lot of different weapons and engines and stuff like that, I'd probably need that in my hangar also. Right now I'm just looking at the metal right here and the way the paint is scratched on the metal. The pipes right there, how they're rounded and smooth and shiny, and then you got all these excess wires up here. One of them has a safety label on it. I think that they put a lot of effort into a place like this that might or might not ever be looked at. So I had to look at it. You know, you gotta take it in. Take in what you can. The problem is with taking in. Okay, look at that. You got, I don't know what that's like, a fallen support strut or something. But The problem with taking it all in is when it's a crowded server, there's a ton of players and they all just come in here and shoot you for no reason. And then you're like, you can't do the, hey, let me take a look at everything as an opportunity. You got to run in, click the things you got to click, and then you got to get out. Okay, that hatch looks like it might open on the roof. It's hard to tell. There is an elevator that goes up and down through the center that probably empties out on the roof or a place upstairs where that can be carried into a larger cargo ship. Because otherwise, how would you get cargo in here? You're not going to hand carry it through the doorway. No, it's got to come in through that cargo elevator, I would think. You got these little fuel tank things. I don't know if they're fuel or if they're water or whatever, but it's got this little explosive symbol on the side. It's got a white stripe, a blue stripe, so I wouldn't think, maybe it's hydrogen or something. I'm not sure. So I try to get close to the caution symbol to read that, and it says prevent M25, stop moving, 254 Series 2 from tipping. I don't really get it. And then car body something or other. What? Okay. You can pause the video and you can see what it was. Looked at the elevator. The elevator is about halfway up. That must have been when the power went out. It was like in the process of going up, because I thought about going in here and then going up the elevator to the top, but you can't. It's blocked, right? You can't come in from the sides. And I think the reason why that is so that cargo doesn't fall out of it. Now here's a window right here. This is like a two-way mirror, because I can see out and see that ship just flying up right there. It looks like a Hornet just flew by. I can see that, but if I was on the other side of this wall, you wouldn't see me. I would be invisible. So for those of you that wanted to defend this post, you could actually stand here, watch people come in, and then you could follow them through the station. You could, maybe this is the security post, where you could, like, if you see them going in, you could say, okay, now I know somebody's here, so I'm going to go ambush them, or what have you. So that's actually a pretty sneaky thing to do right there. Now that box right there looked like it had a wrap around it, like a cloth wrap. And then there's other boxes in here, and some of these other doors would lead to the other sections of the shipping hub that are just not active at this time. Remember, this thing was just activated partially. I bet you it's just not finished, but it's partially activated to give us an opportunity to run around, shoot people, go on an adventure and mission, stuff like that. So right now I'm just thinking, is there a guy coming in? Do I need to, like, defend myself? What do I need to do? Now, the scaffoldings aren't heavy, so they should be floating also, right? They shouldn't be... I should be able to walk up to them and move them around. I didn't try, but they shouldn't be stuck on the ground unless they're magnetized wheels or something. Which they might be. You never know. In the future, you never know. So, alright, let's go outside and check it out from the outside. Alright, well, there's the station. There's the Covalex station. It is not a very big station. You've got a lot of these liquid containers, or
on Covalex private property.
Am I? I am not. I'm in space. There's what do you call it? Solar panels there to get the power, and then there's fuel or liquid or maybe replacement fuel canisters right there. And then there's these like round canisters, different sized ones and different shaped ones in all over the base. Like in the upper right hand corner right there, you see that there's 4 tilted to the left, and then there's 4 tilted to the right. What is that? Is that like liquid for drinking water? Might be. The other stuff might be fuel for ships, and it's way out on an extension boom so that if anything happens, it doesn't kill the crew that's above the big circle. Why do you have a circle? That's another thing. Why is there a circle on this Covalex station? Maybe to keep it stabilized in orbit, maybe to maybe there's additional offices or bunks all around the edge, or maybe it serves some other purpose that we're just not aware of yet. See, there's another round one right there, a couple of round ones. Okay, so let's just keep our eyes open. There's like little satellite dishes, which are probably for communications back to the planet. Remember, there's more than just one planet in Stanton. There's 4 planets, plus there's a bunch of moons, and this one's orbiting one of the moons. And there's the Crusader planet, and the moon is right there to the right. So the planet's to the left, and the moon is to the right, and the sun is above. Okay, and so this is underneath those landing pads. We're kind of just moving around. And look at the detail that they put into the outside of this ship. There's a hatch right there. I don't know what that would lead into or what purpose it would have other than maybe cargo loading or something. I don't know. Maybe there's like an escape pods, or maybe there's a way to actually land a vessel. Okay, this hex octagon shaped thing on the left and right, I do not believe that's a door in any way. I think that's just a wall that's just shaped like an octagon with a frame around it. And then the entire station has like sections that have frames around it. I think that's just to prevent any kind of collision from causing, from approaching or departing ships from causing any kind of damage by accident. I think it's just a safety measure. Now you got this boom that sticks out the left and right side of the shipping hub, and it looks like it's got little handrails so that you could walk out there, maybe in your EVA suit. And it also has like a little docking collar. I bet you some ships can fly up and dock with that.
Landing gear deployed.
Like maybe a Constellation or a Retaliator or something like that, or maybe even a Starfarer could fly up and dock with its docking collar on there, and that way you can get out in comfort of a tunnel and walk inside. But it's weird because you see all these little bars like this that have handrails, and I say that because they're about this perfect size for a handrail. So maybe there is a door there that you can actually get out and walk around on the outside. Now we look down at that little handrail, and it looks like there's like maybe a little place to walk out and stand.
Landing gear retracted.
I don't know, because we haven't had an opportunity to do any kind of docking like that yet in the game. So they haven't activated that or turned that on or anything like that. So all right, that's the top of the hub right there. You can see that hex, I say hex, but it's really an octagon shaped building right there. That's the main area. That's the 3 floors that we were walking around inside. I don't know what that is sticking out. Could be radar, could be radio, not sure. Okay, but on the back side, there's that round thing right there. There's a giant tube that sticks out the back side, and it looks like it's lit up. It's got like some kind of framework. It might be one of those things that you can fly up and dock to, but then again, it also might be just a giant power plant. Like that would be where the power is actually generated. I doubt that. In a space station like this, I would think that the power plant would be as far away from the living quarters as possible, so that if anything ever did go wrong, it wouldn't kill any of the people. So it might be a docking collar of some kind. I don't know. It's all speculative right now, but I do want to say it looks really, really good. Whoever did, I think Foundry 42, but I could be wrong, did the Covalex shipping hub. I think they did a really good job. It's super basic, okay? It's not like Port Olisar where it's got 100 million different rooms with landing pads that function and buttons you got to click on and all that stuff. That's not really, this station isn't like that. It's a lot smaller, more compact, but when it actually goes live and you can play in the live universe, and especially when cargo starts coming online, something like this might become more important, where you got to actually carry cargo to this point for sale on the planet, or it might be like a customs house where you got to bring your cargo here first before you're allowed to take it to the planet, because they got to verify that it's not like contaminated or full of a virus or something like that. And this was the Covalex shipping hub. Okay, as I back up and give you a full picture of this, let's go ahead and just let you see what it is before I take off. And by the way, if you like this video, please like and subscribe. If you want to help support the channel, please donate. We do appreciate that. And remember, if you're interested in a good squadron, join the 1st Naval Aerospace Squadron at 1nas.engine.com. And I'll see you in the verse. Maybe at the Covalex shipping hub.